Good morning. Hey guys, it's Heather Wolf Art. I am a live wedding painter. You want to start it over? Is it still live? Sorry guys, a little technical difficulty. Okay, I'm Heather Wolf Art. I am a live wedding painter and I paint weddings for a living. Today, I'm actually going to be painting Kaleb Cooper's wedding. He just got married on Friday. Our 4th of July here in the United States, but in Britain, it is their famous painter who just got married. I'm sorry, famous farmer who just got married. He is on the Clarkson's farm. We are huge fans of the show. They just released season 5 and they just had their 3rd baby. I'm so excited. They just put out a few pictures. There's not many that are out there. And so the picture that I saw this morning as I was looking through online, I was like, this looks like the famous painting of Grant Wood, the American Gothic painter, or the American Gothic painting. So today I'm going to do like a little mashup between the two. I will be painting for a few hours. I've got a dinner engagement this evening around 4 or 5 o'clock tonight, so I have to be done. So here it is, starting the painting at 10:09. I'm time stamping this. This is in real time. We'll be starting the painting. I don't know, painting 3-4 hours and then calling the painting finished. So I'm a speed painter. That's what I do. So here we go. I will be sharing this link on my socials. So right now I'm on YouTube and I'll be sharing this to Instagram here in a few minutes. But okay, so I'm going to get out my paints and start with some preliminary background washes. I've got my paints here. Today I'm using acrylic. It's a heavy body. This is all professional grade. Hey, if anybody knows Kaleb Cooper, tag him so that we can get this to him because I'd love to ship this painting to him. And by the way, this morning I did make a little shout out to my Insta followers and I tagged Kaleb in the painting and I was like going live and he saw it. I had 5 people who saw it in the first few minutes. He was one of them. So I know he knows this is happening today. Now let's see if we can let him see the final painting because that would be just so much fun. Okay, here we go. I may get quiet throughout the day. We'll see how much I talk. Okay, we are good. Great. It's just checking my screen here. Now I want this to have a very bright, happy feel. The American Gothic was kind of more of a moody painting. It was a little bit darker. And I think I want it to be a little bit more colorful, brighter. And just kind of put my own little twist on it. I'm saving a little spot. If y'all don't know the American Gothic, you can do a quick little Google search and just key in American Gothic in Google, and you will absolutely find this painting. It is everywhere. It's probably one of the most famous, well-known pieces that artist did, Grant Wood. Painting the edges of my canvas so that the painting actually wraps around the side. So if you see me like off to the side, that is what I'm doing. You know what? I could even show you. This is the American Gothic. If you've not seen this, that's what I'm going for. A lot of people think this is his wife. It's not. It was actually his daughter. So we're going to make the farmer have a wife. He will have a wife in this painting. It'll be Kaleb and his wife. That'd be great. Now my style is very painterly. You'll see a lot of brush marks, but then I try my best to do a portrait that will look like them. Let's see how I do today. Okay, I'm gonna do some block ends of some green trees. I'm gonna save some of these spaces. I'm definitely gonna be working these spots back in, but I'm gonna start putting some big colors in here. And if you guys leave any kind of comment, I won't be able to read this until my husband can come back into the room, because I've got the camera flipped and I can't see the screen. So sorry if you left a comment, I won't be able to see it for right now. So I'm a live painter. I don't know if you've seen this or heard of this, but I am a live wedding painter. I go on site and I paint weddings in real time as guest entertainment. So that is my job. And I travel all over and I do this. When I saw this, I was like, this couple needs to be painted. But I also love Kaleb. So it's fun to do art for people that you love. Okay. All right, I'm going to connect my, take a little second here. I'm going to connect my Instagram so they can start watching. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just putting this link out. Okay. All right. There we go. All right, so now I have shared the link with YouTube. I'm sorry, with Instagram. I'm also going to take the building that was behind him, the farm, the barn that was behind him, and I'm going to switch this out for his venue. I have found a couple of photos online. I'm going to use that as a reference from a photo online, and I'm going to superimpose it behind them as if it was the barn. Just doing some color blocks right now, and I'll add some more details throughout the painting, but I'm just kind of getting some areas blocked in. And if you see me like swiping back and forth, it's because I'm using multiple photos to reference here. I don't think I want the windows to be too contrasted because I want them to be the focal. Okay. You probably are looking at this and you're like, wait, this looks very elementary. I swear my artwork has a whole lot more detail, and this will too. I'm just getting this kind of blocked in with some color. So, hang in there. Just trust the process. Okay, the classic pitchfork, which is what is right here. You may not be able to tell. That is what the farmer was holding in that original painting, so I definitely want to have that pitchfork in there. In the original photograph, he was holding a champagne flute, and I'm just going to switch that out for the pitchfork. Let's see. I'm just gonna go ahead and paint that out. I'll paint the pitchfork out. Like sometimes I'll put it in a drawing, like I'm covering up my pencil lines. And then I'll go back in and I'll put them in later. But I was just kind of putting a placeholder for it. As I was sketching. Okay. This year, well, the last several years, navy has been a very popular color for suits. Yeah. So I paint blue suits more than any other color, for sure. Okay, and now my husband is able to message me when I have questions that come through. So if you have a question, you are welcome to leave it in the chat and he will let me know. So I'm doing lights and shadows. I'm really looking for my values right now. Pushing those dark shadows, popping those highlights. All right, and she wore a beautiful dress that was actually blue, white, floral. It was gorgeous. And then her florals were blue and white as well. Her flowers were excellent. But what I love about her dress is that it actually is something different. I just usually paint white dresses, cream dresses, off-white dresses. So to have somebody choose something that has a pattern, this is really exciting to paint. Okay, we're about to get into the portraits. Okay. I think that will be as much as I go for right here. I need to drop down this line. I may be talking to myself a bit today, so if you hear me mumbling, it's just for my thoughts out loud. I'm putting her bouquet right here. And florals. Okay. All right, I'm going to zoom you guys in. I'm going to try my best at least. I've got two things that are filming. I have my iPad doing the live, and then I've got my other phone doing fast motion. So I'll be managing both of those at the same time. But let's see if I can zoom you guys in. Oh, sweet, you can. I don't do this very often. It's been a while since I did my last. Actually, my last one was PewDiePie and his wife. He had 100 million subscribers on YouTube. So to celebrate it, he got married and we celebrated, and I painted him a picture. I don't know if he ever saw it because he was on his vacation, honeymoon. Now, I know Kaleb is Kaleb is working the field because just about an hour ago he posted and said happy honeymoon, and he was out in the yard. So he's doing that. Okay, so I have my own brand of skin tones. It's called Fast Tone. This one's got paint all over it. Let's see if we can scrap it off. This is what I use to do my skin tones. It's 6 different shades from light to dark. And I am going to put out my paint for my skin tones, and I'm going to start working on their portraits. Now, this is all acrylic that I'm using today. And I'll give you a close-up of these so you can get an idea of what they look like. There we go. And there are 6 shades. I've just squeezed out shade 5. One more to go, and then I will show you guys what they look. This is actually something that I sell on Amazon, and you can purchase if you're a painter and you like to paint, especially portraits. Let's see. Here we go. Shades 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they are in light to dark. There we go, right there. This is what I use to paint all my portraits, is that paint. So let's get started with it. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Who am I going to paint first? Let's paint Kaleb. The one we all know so well. All right, I like to start with my shadows first. And I like to use my phone and having it side by side. So if you see my phone up here, that is what I'm doing, is to, a quick reference. If I've got my photo way over here and then I'm painting the canvas feet away, it's harder for me to focus. So I have found that if I can have it. Oh, thank you for the compliments on the sketch. Thank you. It's very loose. I like to keep it loose. Okay, so let's see. I'm looking for my shadows. And then I go back in and I'll do things like putting in an eyeball. So this is going to be like a dark hole for the eyes for a minute. So just bear with me. My spritz bottle. I don't know if you guys are painters, but I use a spritz bottle to keep my paint from drying out. Now I know I just piped that out of the tube, but still like to have it a little bit thinner for some of these areas so I can kind of do like a wash. Let's see if I can get Kaleb's face in here so we can get some recognizable facial details. Go in here. I'm usually quiet when I am painting the face because I am the most focused. So if I get quiet, sorry. I'll try to remember to say what I'm doing. I'm just looking for the basic lights and shadows at this point. Okay. Has anybody who's on right now seen the show? Clarkson's Farm. And she's in water to wash out my brushes. With acrylics, you do not need solvents. It's just water. So that is what I'm using to rinse out my brush. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna pick up some highlights. What I love about this show is it's funny. This guy is the funny guy. He's witty. He makes it interesting. Him and Clarkson, Jeremy Clarkson, they banter back and forth just constantly. I know they have like a true love for each other, but they also love to banter, which is always so funny. And then it just gives a lot of insight of like how hard it is to be a farmer. So things I would have never thought of or have experienced myself, they show that, and so that's really informative too. But the show is just hilarious. I had never watched anything of Jeremy's other shows, but now we have. I've almost like reversed followed him. Like I watched this show first, and then I went and found his other stuff, like Grand Tour. That's a really funny one. Okay. That is not his mouth. That's like the shading inside of his mouth. So if that looks like a 2-year-old smile, it is looking like that for sure. Okay, I gotta get these rosies in his cheeks because he has lots of warmth in his cheeks. Okay. Let's get him a little bit of a beard in there so we can start to see that. I mean, Kaleb is known for his hair. They make a big deal about it on the show. He wants to have every hairstyle that there's ever been. He's permed his hair, he's curled his hair, he's cut his hair, he's grown his hair, he's put it in a ponytail. I mean, he's done it all. And I think that's just a funny little thing about him. Okay, your camera is cutting off his head. Oh, you mean like my my cell phone when I hold it up. Okay, let me switch then. I'll bring out my stand. And I'll make it to where is it out of the frame? Yeah, here we go. I'll just make that work. My live stream needs to be moved up. You want to help? Thank you. Oh, somebody said there aren't enough live artists on YouTube. This is great. Oh, glad you're enjoying it. You know, I think one thing about artists is they're a little bit more introverted and they like the quietness of a quiet studio. And me being a live painter, I'm used to people watching and painting fast. So I don't usually tune in because it's helpful to have my husband helping me manage the video today. Because when I'm on site at weddings, I'm just so focused. I'm so focused. But I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm glad somebody is tuned in and watching. That's awesome. All right. I touched the canvas with my pinky, bracing my hand, and I keep dipping it in this big pile of green. So I'm making a mess with my pinky. I can always clean it up. You know, one great thing about acrylic is that once it dries, it turns to a plastic. So I can just go right over the top of it and layer. So if I mess this up with another color, I can always just layer back on top, is what I'm trying to say. All right. I'm going to get into some of these smaller details that will make me have to use a smaller brush. And pop some of this detail in there in his face. Alright, let's see. Let me zoom in. Now, It's hard for me to see all the details on this post's picture because this is just Instagram quality that I'm working from. I do not have like the photographer's photos. And I believe his eyes are blue. I can go and I can look at other photos of him and I'm sure I can figure it out. But this is going to be challenging because I'm going to have a little bit harder of images to work from. So let's see how well I can do this. Oops. I don't know. Maybe his eyes are green. Maybe while I'm painting, you guys can let me know. It's an easy tweak to change it if I need to. So I'm not worried about it if I've got it all. I'm going back in and kind of reshaping some of these lines. Sometimes I'll work an area, and before I finish it completely, I will kind of bop around in different spots just to keep my eyes seeing it fresh. Oh, somebody has sent me eye colors. Okay. Oh, very bright blue. Okay, I'm going to screenshot that. That's helpful, thank you. Okay. Yeah, that was great. Just thinking of his highlights and pushing that color, moving around. Sorry, I know I'm quiet when it comes to the portraits. It's because I'm focused. So. And I want it to have lots of color, so I'm going to be popping some colors that may be a little bit higher in chroma than maybe it was in reality. Just want it to feel very happy. Okay, great. Thank you. My husband is finding me the pictures of his eyes and his wife's eye color. Thank you. When I painted this in, I didn't really get his ear and his head, the shape exactly what I want, so now I'm kind of carving it back in. You know, faces are one of the most challenging things you can paint because one, we're all so uniquely different, and it's these micro differences. Like the lines are so itty bitty, and I get it off just a tad, and then it doesn't look like him, doesn't look like her, and so I have to get it correct. It's just, there's just so many variations. If I even shift my brush the wrong direction, just the tiniest bit, it may throw off the entire portrait. So it is, at least to get likeness, it is very, very difficult. Okay. Sorry, you may see me just kind of bopping around on different things. Right now I'm just kind of finding his shadows that are around him. And I see that one comes all the way up to his neck. And then he has a very nice cast shadow. The light is from behind him, so it's hitting, it's like to the left and behind him, so it's hitting his left cheek, and it's making his head make a shadow right here on his chest. Let's see if I can show you that in the photo here. Let's see, can you see that? Anyway, I'll put it right here. You can see this shadow right here on his neck. That's what I'm gonna work on right now. Just kind of pop something, put some of that shading in. I will work his face more. Just one of those things, if I let this area dry a little bit, I can work another little spot. Okay. Can I post on TikTok? Yeah, I could. Let me see if I can. Oh, not now. Okay. I'm going to put the shading in his mouth. That's a bit too dark. I'm going to shift that over. It's not exactly where I want it. Okay, what'd that say? Oh, somebody's noticed that the hand position moved. That's correct. He had his hand a little bit higher, holding his flute about right here. And I have shifted his hand down a little bit. You can't really see the pitchfork. If you're just tuning in, I'm making this look like the American Gothic Grant Wood painting. For me, like this just totally screamed that piece. And so I wanted him to have his little pitchfork in his hand. I have moved his hand around. There's going to be a handful of things that I'm going to do, like artist interpretation, like my own little approach in here. So, good job for noticing that. You are paying attention. I'm pulling out some of the warmth in his beard. I also want it to have like a fade. He had his side of his head shaved. They call it like a fade. And his beard transitions up into a fade as well. So I'm trying to make that appearance. Yeah, somebody has said that teeth are hard. They are. They can look like little chiclets, and you gotta be careful to not make them too bright and white, but enough that they look like teeth and not the lip. And then also the shape of their lip has a lot to do with how they look as a person. So if they have thinner or thicker lips, I've got to think through all that too. So right now I'm kind of sculpting the lips. I think his chin, you can see his chin kind of poking through. I have it too bright, so let me kind of tone that down. Because I can see through his chin hair here. And on the cheeks too, like how his beard is not as full. So I'm going to kind of poke that, the skin tone, I'm going to kind of pop that in there. Let's rework this nose. So you guys are getting to see the progress without me getting to finish it, because I mean, I post all the time of me in progress paintings, but they're usually fast motion. So you guys are getting to see in real time progress. So you're getting to see me making mistakes and tweaking and changing, which is not intimidating at all. No, I'm used to it. I mean, people will come up and have comments at weddings, because that's what I do is I work weddings. And they'll say their 2 cents and they'll give me their advice. And sometimes it's great. And sometimes it's like, whoa, did you just say that? But all that to say is that you kind of got to have a thick skin and just keep going. Just have fun and confidence, because you'll get there. There's a progress. I have to build it up. And not every part is going to be like a perfect brush mark. I'm just building up little pieces at a time. I don't know if this is a question that my husband's asking, or if somebody asked, do I think that this haircut that he has right now will last more than a week? That's funny. No, I don't. He loves to change his hair. Why not? Oh my gosh, he's obsessed with changing his hair. They've had like multiple episodes where he's like constantly keeping it different. So he's probably going to get the images back from his wedding and be like, and that makes me want to do something new and different. Who knows? He's just funny like that. He says he has to try them all. Maybe he's tried them all. Maybe this is the final one. Maybe this is like, once he's married, then he keeps it the same. What do you guys think? Do you think he'll keep his hair? right. Yeah, the gold tie. Let's see if I can get him some color in here. Actually, I don't even know if you guys can see the tie. Oh yeah, you can see all the way down to his hand. Just checking my crop that I have on mine. Sorry, I'm like bopping around. I start working on his tie and all of a sudden like eyelids. That bottom highlight right underneath his eyelid. And then also he's got a bit of a hooded eye. So I'm going to bring that down just a bit to make it look like that. Maybe I'll even do a little bit of the iris of his eye. Pupil. Yeah, I see a little bit. All right. Is that a painting of a fisherman in the background? Let's see. Not sure what. Let's see what that says. Up here? Are you talking about like in the right of his shoulder? This is actually going to be Clarkson's farm. To look like, well, any kind of spot in that area that they farm. Oh, on my wall. Yes. You guys are looking around the room. Okay, yeah, that is a painting that I did. It's actually my dad at his childhood fishing spot. And he's a painter as well. And we went and painted there. And he stopped to fish. And he caught a fish 2 seconds later. It's a very significant painting to me. Very meaningful. He is the one I learned to love art from. My dad. My fisherman on my wall. You guys are observant. Thank you. Okay, let's see. What else do I want to do here? I use white more than any other color on my palette, so I am always refilling my white. If you have ever painted or want to paint, be sure to get big giant tubes of white because you will need that the most. Commenters and mark. Oh, somebody has noticed that I wrapped the edge of the canvas. I do that. One, it's saving you from having to get it framed. So that's considered like gallery wrapped and ready. So I could hang it on a wall if I was ever going to display it in a gallery. I love that I can just wrap the image around and not just paint it a solid color. Some artists will paint it just black or a color, just a solid color. And I like to paint that edge wrapped around the side. So it just has more of a finished look. And it saves you money with not having to frame it. Okay, let's see, out here, here we go. You know, one of my favorite colors that I use is this light blue violet. So you'll see me painting a lot with that one. It is a very nice color for highlights, for blue. Okay, what does this say? What do you think about deep versus shallow canvases? Okay, so that's just a preference. Now, something that you can think about is if you have a shallow edge, like this is almost 2 inches deep. So it's going to stand off the wall 2 inches. And a shallow one would be like a 3/4 of an inch, or maybe even a panel, which is flat. And it would be hard. Like this is actually stretched, so it bounces. It saves you a lot in framing. So you can get it professionally framed much cheaper if you ever wanted to frame your artwork. I also think that this just has a more substantial look up against the wall if it is on a deeper edge. And sometimes I'll tell my clients that if they have a plan on framing their canvases, I will paint on a skinnier edged canvas so that it's cheaper for them when they do want to get it framed. And then if they're not sure about it, I just tell them, let's go ahead and use the deep edge canvas because this is just so much nicer than if you did a skinny edge. The skinny edge just looks kind of underwhelming hanging on a wall. But the deep edge, it looks super great. And when I was in college, I knew that I could save some money if I just put my canvas on a deeper edge and I didn't have to frame it. So that was one reason I kind of got into that. Okay, it's coming along. It's looking nice. I love brush marks. I love being able to see my brush marks. So I call it painterly. I think that's so much more interesting than it being too smoothed out. It's a whole lot more fun to paint for me too. Hey, but everybody's got their own preference, you know? There's very few right and wrong. It's just, what do you like? And the brushes, well, the brush that I'm using right now is a Rosemary & Co. Actually, this is a British company. I just purchased my first ones and I'm in love with them. I think they make just brilliant lines. So I'm a new user to this brush. And I have all different sizes of it, but that is definitely my new favorite brush, is that whole collection. They just paint really beautiful. Okay. I'm gonna exaggerate some of these brush marks here to make it look more interesting. Okay, I just saw something in my photo. This is too much. I do this all the time. I'll be working a section and then give myself a break. If I've seen this line too many times, I don't see that this actually needs to come over a little bit more and straighter here. So then I can tweak. Like bopping around the canvas. This is one of the great things about that is I can move around and then get a fresh eye. Okay, somebody's just asked a question. Do you also draw an outline when painting landscapes? Is it better to just paint as you see it from a photo, from a memory? Oh, I do everything. Sometimes I paint with my brush, or I draw with my brush, and sometimes I draw with a pencil. Sometimes I am doing big block-ins. Actually, I am currently taking a painting course. I believe we all need to take different courses as we get professional development, even though I've been painting my entire life and I'm a professional painter. This is what I do for a living. I'm still taking courses. And I have really enjoyed the technique that has been brought in. And we do a lot of staining and like tinting of the canvas. And that is something that I'm enjoying as well. So this summer I've been doing a lot of that. But today I drew it in with a pencil because I wanted this to be accurate. Okay. I can get accuracy with a brush as well. But today I just drew it in with a pencil. That's what I was feeling like. Okay. I think I'm about to have to clean my palette a little bit. Let's see. I am taking out the way too much yellow. I'm going to tone that down. I'm taking out the barn that was from that original painting, the American Gothic. I'm making it look like the venue that was behind them, the venue that they actually got married at. There's a picture that they have with their getaway car in front of this building, so I know that this was part of the property that they used. And I want it to look like there. Oh, actually, I can show you this. Can you see that? This is a clip from somebody's account. This was their getaway car, and this is the part of the building that I am referencing. Now, this is a side angle. It's simple enough architecturally that I can just imagine what this looked like and tweak it. But that's what I'm working. That's what's going to go behind them rather than the barn from the original painting or the inspiration of my painting that I am basing this off the American Gothic painting. Yeah. So I do this all the time. I will have weddings that they want me to incorporate different parts of the venue, and it's not in the scene that I photographed, so I am always kind of taking this plus this and mashing them together and recreating something that no photo can ever do. Unless you Photoshop it or something like that. But that is what I do all the time, is recreate something that hasn't been seen before. A combination of two photos. All right, Mr. Kaleb. Let me pause on him for. Let me just double check him really quick. Let me see if I need to. Maybe I'll do a little bit more on his hair. Okay. People who are watching, is anybody a painter? Okay. Oh, yes, a few. Good, good, good. Somebody has said they want to go buy some paint, canvases, and an easel. Yay! That's awesome. Hey, remember, if you want to, check out my brand of skin tones. I have a brand. It's called Fast Tone Pro Pre-Mades. I sell them on Amazon, and it is my skin tones, so you don't have to mix them. That saves you. If you've not painted before and you don't know color theory and you're just getting the hang of this, that's really a helpful thing. The reason I use mine is because I'm working events where my lighting is so challenging, and I'm working so fast that I know how to make it, but it just saves me a ton of time. Even the one that knows the recipe to all these colors, I'm still using this daily because it's so helpful. Okay. All right. I'm gonna put in a little. Let's do this right here. Oh, I need to work that ear. Whoops. I have left it out. Yeah. I should go work on his wife for a minute. Okay. Okay, one thing that I think is really important as I'm doing this is to get a distance from my canvas, lean back, squint my eyes, and then I can quickly see, quickly see the things that need to be done. He has a boutonniere. I almost forgot. Let's just throw some boutonniere in. You know, florals are just the easiest part because I can just very quickly make some lines, and if it's off by the slightest bit, it doesn't matter because it's floral, and boom, and then it's done. Let me put a little cast shadow underneath that so that it looks like the floral is kind of popping off. Yeah. Something like that. I'm going to take down some of that bright white. Here we go. Okay. Oh, should I do his pitchfork now? Or should I start working on his wife? Because I think if I get that pitchfork in there, just take me a second. I think you guys will get an idea. Okay, let's see. I'm going to have it. Let's see about right here. There's 4 prongs I want to go for. 1. Maybe one right here. Okay. Bringing in that Grant Wood, American Gothic painter, or the American Gothic farmer. Okay, here we go. I may leave it like that for now. Put a little cast shadow on, maybe. I feel like Bob Ross right now. Happy shadow. Happy shadow. Okay. All right, for his hand, I'm just going to do a little bit of a block in. I know y'all are wanting me to paint his wife, but let's just get this white of the canvas covered. And then we'll make his highlight on this side. Ooh, okay, my brush picked up some of that blue, and I'm going to clean off my brush with a clean brush, and then I can wipe it away almost like an eraser. Rather than trying to put fresh paint on top of that, it will never clean that up. Well, I mean, it will, but it will be a huge gray mess. So there we go. We'll just do it like that. And put a little bit of highlights on here. I'll just make it kind of suggestive for right now. We'll come in with more of it later. Okay. And it looked like his ring was gold. There we go. All right, let's zoom out and paint her in. Sorry. And then I'm like, but then I need a highlight. I need a highlight on this side. Yeah. Here we go. That's interesting. Oh, y'all don't even get to see it. Let me zoom that out. Oh, no, you do. Okay. Okay. Changed up some of my cameras here. And I will. wondering if I should keep it zoomed out or if I should zoom in on her face. Let's zoom in on her face just because it'll be a little easier to see her. Great. How are we doing on time? Let's see, 11:30. Okay. So we're a little over an hour into this. When I'm painting live at a wedding, I can usually brush to canvas is about 4 hours. So I'm used to this like short timeline of getting brush to canvas. All right. We're going to pause here. I'm going to start working on her. Give her a face because right now she's faceless. Okay. All right. Remember, I start with my shadows first. And then I will build up my highlights. So right now I'm just looking at where the darks are on the face. Okay. Somebody's asked, do I use black for the shadows? No, I'm actually, let me show you these colors again. I don't know if you can see my palette. This is shade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the darkest shade of the fast tones. And if I wanted to make this darker, I would use something like a burnt umber. Sometimes maybe in a cast shadow, I'd be bringing it. Very, very rarely do I bring in black. Like right in here where the hair, let's see if I can show you this, where her hair is meeting her face. There's a really dark shadow right there. I probably will bring in some black there, but not on the skin. At least for somebody who's Caucasian, I would not be bringing in that kind of dark. It can, to me, it makes them look like they're not alive. They look kind of corpsey. So be very careful when you're mixing your skin tones in the shades. Now she has backlit just like I was talking about with Kaleb. So she's got a cast shadow on her chest. Her back of her head is lit, and this is the cast shadow. It comes down on the chest. And then she kind of has like a halo effect on her neck and on her shoulders. Now, being the artist, I can kind of use my artistic interpretation and push and pull a color and all that. So I don't feel like I have to keep it exact. I don't feel like I have to keep it exact the way that it is in the photograph. I can use my artist liberties. Now this color that I just put in on the cheeks, when I'm using my set of 6 skin tones, that is just my base. I can manipulate it and cool it down, warm it up, darken it. Like that is a great base to then mix colors into my fast tone. So that's what I just did. I popped some warmth into her cheeks to give that fleshy, rosy, blushed look. And with the eye sockets, I actually think it's easier to paint them mostly in shadow and then bring the highlights back. So that is probably my biggest tip. Okay. This is a tricky photograph to work from for me because it's a little blurry on her. I don't have as strong of a reference photo as it was on Kaleb. So I'm going to do my best here. Let's see how I can do. Someone's asked what's the percentage that I think I'm on, and let me see what it said exactly. What percent complete do you think you are, and how much longer do you think I'll put into it? Okay. There's a lot of finish marks on Kaleb. I'm going to make the background very painterly. After I work her, let's say I'm going to do this for maybe 45 minutes on her, and then I'm going to maybe do like another 30, 45 minutes on everything. So we're probably at like an hour and a half-ish, something like that, nearing the end. Just kind of guessing. And sometimes taking a break and getting lunch or something to just rest my eyes is really important, because I come back to the canvas and it like screams at me what's next and what I need to work on. And this video, we will save it on YouTube, on my channel. So you can come back and watch again if you'd like, if you have to get off, because I know that this is a long time to sit and watch, for sure. And I appreciate those who are watching. Thank you very much. I think I'm gonna switch brushes and let's see how. Yeah. So her dress, I've not actually seen. Well, there's been a handful of dresses that I've worked weddings, and it's more of a pattern than it is a solid. Textures are really big. in Western weddings here. But this one, it has a lot of gauze to it with layers and florals, lots of texture. This is just really a fun treat to paint a dress like this. And I like that there's a lot of room to make brush marks into it. So it's going to be a fun painting dress to paint. All right, let's get those lips. I'm going to warm up my color here. And she does not have her teeth showing. It is just more of a soft smile. Which I think is really sweet. Some paper towels. Keeping my palette clean and fresh, along with my paper towel nice and clean with lots of spots to wipe my brush off that doesn't have paint all over it, so it makes a big muddy mess, is very important. So if you've not done that before, you should definitely try to keep your palette tidy. Y'all have to bear with me. I know that the portrait is not looking like her yet. We will get there. We will get there. This is a process right through here of laying in some color and being able to come back in. Get a little bit out. All right, I think it would help me if I had some color in her hair, because right now I'm feeling a ton of white against this, and so I'm just going to bring in some of this to not have so much bright white on the canvas in that one spot. And she had her bangs curled in her face, like over her cheeks a little bit. Okay, I'm going to focus for a minute. This is a lot to work through. And she has her veil back behind her. So I'm gonna paint in her hair and then her veil on top of it. I think that's how I'll do the layers there. I'm switching up my brushes so I can make some bigger marks. Bigger brush marks here. I lost that sheet. Give me a minute. I'll get it. Let's see. Do I paint country/farm/hill building weddings? Oh my. I have painted it all. Everything from A to Z. I have painted I've painted luxury weddings that are in LA and they could probably spend $1 million on a wedding. I've painted weddings where I know that I was in a, probably a very special thing that they invested into, and they have backyard weddings and they have their cell phones as the DJ, and so I've painted it all from very expensive to my budget friendly weddings. And at this point, I've almost done 300 weddings. I started my business. It'll be 8 years in November. painting weddings. I've painted other things prior to that, but the wedding part has the last 8 years. So I've done a lot in these 8 years. It has been a total blessing. Oh, and yeah, so I've also painted some very, very rural weddings. They had bull rides and tractor pulls, and I mean, they did it all. And they had an absolutely gorgeous property and farm to host their wedding, and it was exactly what they wanted. There is no right or wrong, or no matter like how fancy it looks. And I actually feel like even Kaleb had a very low key wedding. It looked like they had it perfect for them, unlike what Taylor Swift just had. Like it is, everybody just does their own taste. Right, I'm starting to see it come together. Let's give her some different eyes here. Now, I'm going to go find her eyes real quick. Oh, she has brown eyes. Okay. They are a kind of like a honey brown. Okay. Beautiful. What is the most unusual animal I have ever seen at venues? And what do I see? Okay. Weddings that I have worked that have been unusual. No, we all sorts of farm animals. Highland cows, horses. Let's see. Swans. There was swans at one wedding. That was really a fun one. That was in the Nashville, Tennessee area. That somebody had swans. An alpaca. There was alpacas. Yes, I forgot about that one. I've seen a lot of different fun things. Strange things that I've painted. I've even painted a hedgehog. That was a fun one. That was not at a wedding, though. That one was just somebody commissioned. Before I did weddings, I painted pet portraits. So I have done a ton of dogs and cats and things like that. And cooney pigs. Llamas. All right, spin it all. Okay, let's see. Tone that down. Did somebody say that comment, or did you just? I just got a message that Kaleb hates sheep. Yes, in season 5, he is talking about how much he hates sheep, and I think I'm going to add a little sheep over here in the field, just to remind him of his love for sheep. Just kidding, he does not like sheep at all. I think I see a thing I want to change. Okay. All right. All right. Let's see. She's got a nice little necklace on. It's very subtle, so I will make it. Let's see. I keep going back and forth with what brush I want. I think I need an in-between brush. Pulling out a new one. This one is a little bit smaller. Yeah, this is better. I can have a little bit more control of some of these details. I need more of shade 3. Shade 3 is the one that I use the most because it's like my mid-tone. I paint a lot of Caucasian skin tone, so I use that one a lot. But actually, I use all 6 colors when I'm painting because I need the shadow and I need the highlight. So I use a lot of them. 1 through 6. And if you are just tuning in, that is my skin tone set that I sell on Amazon. I mean, these guys just got married on Friday, and here it is Monday. So there's not a lot of photos that are out, and people are really excited to see them. So hopefully this gives you guys something to look at and watch as we wait for more photos to come out. Let's see, I'm going to break up this hairline with some wispy little white lines to make it look like the veil is peeking around and through. When I'm painting a veil, I want to keep my paint like a dry brush effect and scumble across the top, or like a wash. It almost kind of looks like she has some kind of headband built in. I'm thinking I see that. Let's give her some highlights in her bangs. Okay. It's these last bits where it's like the fun brush marks get to come through. Because so much of this has been like laying in small sections, and so now it's where I get to like do my favorite part. More painterly. Making it, oh, I want to take that out. Actually, I think I'm just going to get over that with this. Okay. And she has her necklace. I think it's a pearl that she's wearing. All right, let's start building, or like working on her dress. And I've got that base in there, so I think I can actually go in with some highlight and almost draw in the shapes of her dress. She's got some ruching here in the front. And the fabric is overlapping. Oh, thanks. When I paint the dress, and this dress or any of the other dresses, I'm not making it line for line, design for design. Like I do more loose painterly like marks. There, I could wear myself out by getting into the specific little details. So I don't want to be getting too caught up in that. Do you see a specific spot? Okay. I said I was going to go work on the dress and then I'm back up in the face. Yeah. That's just the way it goes, right? Okay. I think I'm going to stand up and look at my canvas at a distance because I've really not gotten much distance from the canvas since I started. So I'm going to stand up and see if I can get some space because if stretching my eyes at a distance, like more than just 2 feet from it, I all of a sudden can see the areas that I need to tweak and change. So I'm going to do that in just a second. So I can make sure I'm not missing anything. I say that and then I don't get up. Yep. All right, I'm gonna just lean back. I'm gonna stretch my eyes. Coming right back to it. I'm gonna take a 1-second break. Okay. I'm also going to do a little tidying on my palette. I think taking a break to stretch my eyes, scraping off my palette. Okay, so this is what it looked like. I just folded it up, but it was starting to get a little full. So I'm just gonna get a fresh palette. I do my mixing on a different spot than I have my paint. So just giving myself a clean mixing surface is really, really important as I'm doing this. That way, I'm not mixing muddy colors into each other. All right, let's okay. Now, I don't know if you're just tuning in or if you heard earlier when I said I posted on my social media, on my Instagram this morning that I was going to go live. And I tagged Kaleb Cooper. And I said that I was going to paint his wedding. And within the first, I don't know, 5 minutes, I had 5 people look at it. And I just went to go see who it was. And Kaleb saw it. So he knows. He knows that I'm doing this today. Well, whoever manages his Instagram knows that I'm doing this today. Wouldn't this not be so fun if I could somehow send this to him? It'd be an honor. I've done fan art before, and it did not make it to them. It's just hard to have it be seen, you know, because there's a lot of people posting. So we will see. She even has a little bit of purple in this too. It's not just blue. I think there's a little bit of purple in this. And like I was saying about the dress, I just make suggestive lines. I do not go in and paint each little teeny piece of lace and all that like that. That is not my style. There are artists that can. I bet I could if I spent a lot of time on it. It's just kind of like the expressiveness that I can get with just kind of moving quick. This little cap sleeve, I just want to let that kind of hang off of her. Okay. In the original photo, she's also holding a champagne flute. She's holding one and he was holding one. So I just took his hand and shifted it down to make it hold the pitchfork. So this one, I put the bouquet in the other hand. It looks like there's some kind of horseshoe that is really common that brides will put something in their bouquet that is usually like significant. Somebody that was significant. They'll put like their picture in it, or it's like a a remembrance of somebody in their family. Sometimes it's something like that. So I have a feeling that's very significant. I'll be sure to include that into her bouquet right here. I'll add that little horseshoe. Okay, so I'm going to add a highlight on her arm to make her look backlit. And then look at this part of her arm. Yeah. Might be enough. Okay. And there was maybe it's a Cosmo that's right here. It's a white flower, a yellow center. Let's see, it's pretty bright center. Oh, and she also has a little bit of yellow in her florals. So let's add some kind of lemon yellow. Lemon yellow is also a really big one for this wedding season. People are using it like crazy. Like the dress, I also do the florals, pretty suggestive, and then I will let this kind of dry and then I'll draw back into it with some line work. But I am not going to do too much individual, like these little sprigs of flowers. I'm not going to do like tons of little detail on it. I'll just kind of make it more suggestive. Let's get some of this lime green going here. Add some of this dark kind of push back. I love painting flowers. I'm a gardener. I grow my own flowers. I even have a flower book. For my daughter's birthday one year, I painted her a children's book all about flowers. We also sell that on Amazon. These flowers are for you. That's the name of the book. But I love painting flowers. There's just so much forgiveness to it that it doesn't have to be exact. I love that. I love the colors of it. It's just very happy. And I also really believe that a painting that has like grass, trees, sky, and all that, it's so much more alive looking than if it was like just a plain wall behind them, like a drywall or wood slats. I mean, that just doesn't do it for me. It's not as interesting. I think a painting can look so much more alive when you have greenery, something that is alive in it, like bushes and trees and shrubs, all that. Okay, I'm liking that. Here, I go back up into his. A little tweaking. Okay, put your hand down here. I need some more of my shade 4 and 5. Let's see. This hand, I'm not going to put a ton of detail on because it's not the main focus. And I don't want to get caught up in like super teeny tiny details. But I'm also going to take, she's got some little ribbon that's hanging down. I think I'm going to even lace some over her fingers. I'm going to do a little dry break. When I want an area to dry, I use my hair dryer. So 1 second. You can mute if this is going to be too loud. Okay. Let's see. It's like a lemon yellow of her little ribbon. It's coming down. And it is a transparent little ribbon. Something like that. I want to do her little horseshoe. I don't think I can see what that is, what the design is. I'm just going to make it kind of very subtle. Maybe make it a little bit lighter. And then there is a little blue heart that's in it. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to do something simple like this. I will kind of push this shadow underneath it so that maybe it's a little easier to... Okay, then I'm going to make this brighter. All right, I'm going to do a dry break. Or I could just... No, I'm going to do a dry break. I'm going to put that lemon yellow right over the top of that again. So it's just overlapping. Okay. We're getting there, guys. We are getting there. Right now, I'm looking at everything. I'm comparing it to my photo and noticing where does I need that little pop of more highlighter, a little detail in it. So I'm going to be moving all over right now. Yeah, I do think I will take a 2-minute little break. Then I need to refill some paint. Okay, I think I'm ready to start working on the structure behind them. I'm going to take a 2-second break away from the canvas, go get some water. I'll come right back before I do that. All right. Okay, I'm back. Let's see if I can. Alrighty. What's that? Okay. Checking my cameras here. Alright, I got away and now I can see a couple of things. I'll tweak and change. That is what taking a break is good for. Her arm is too long. Let's take that out. Watch. I can just. What do I want to do? Do I want to make it a dress or floral? I think I'm going to. Let's first start with this. Let's just make the floral come down a little bit farther. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Her hand would be more like right here. So I'll make that the stems of the floral. I'm going to put a flower in front. Man, I feel energized by just taking a little step back. And that really helps. After painting this falling on one piece, it's just so helpful. When I'm at weddings and I'm painting, I will stand up, stretch my arms, get a drink, take a little food break, and then when I come back to the canvas, I'm always just so re-energized. So it really is helpful. Okay, I see a few little things here I want to tweak. Let's see. Shadow in here. Okay. Yeah, I'm liking that better. Picked up a little bit of blue from the suit, so remember I just take a clean brush and I almost just like erase it. Yeah, that's better. Add some knuckles. This white on his shirt, I need to make it a little brighter. Okay. All right. Now I will, when I finish this video, I will take better photos of the painting and a controlled light. I like to take my photographs midday in a shady spot in the yard outside. And I will post it so you guys can see like the up close. I will have it on my Instagram, and I'll also be making this into like a reel that is short, like just a few seconds long, rather than it being I don't know how many hours I'm at right now, but instead of that, you won't have to watch the whole thing in real time. You'll get to see it in clips, in fast motion. Okay, put a little highlight on his ring. I'm liking that. Okay, so when my paper towel even gets like this, and I'm trying to wash out my brush and I'm putting it in here, all of a sudden I just picked up some of this old paint. So now I'm gonna keep flipping and rotating my paper towel. Like I'll even open it up and like get a clean spot. Keeping my tools clean is really, really, really important. So do not let your tools get too messy on you or they will make your painting suffer. Okay, put some little curls in her hair. A bit more defined. Okay, I'm really liking the way they're looking, so I think I'm going to switch to our background. Yeah. Okay, what was on his wedding day? What was the sky? Okay, I found this photo of what the sky looked like on their wedding day. So it was bright blue sky and white fluffy clouds. I think I'll keep it like that. Sometimes I switch it up and make it kind of like a sky with some golden sunset colors. I think I'll keep it just like this. In the painting that I'm so inspired by, let's see. Oh, it was kind of moody. Kind of looked like it was rainy day on the Grant Wood American Gothic. I don't know, I think I'm gonna go a little bit darker in some of these spots. I always have to remind myself to wrap that around that top. When I've mixed a color that's not straight out of the tube, it's better to do that wrapping around the canvas while you've got the color on your palette rather than trying to remix it later because it can get harder to mix to match it. I'm good at mix to match, but it's just a habit that I have disciplined myself to always remember to wrap it around that edge because I know it saves me a lot of effort and time later. All right, I'm going to clean my palette. I need more space for this. There we go. You can't really see this from the video, but there is actual texture in my brushwork. Like it's textured on the canvas. I think that's interesting. building. Okay. All right, this window has a dark trim. Around the window frame and a little bit of an arched onto those window panes there and there. I'm leaving my brushwork even a little bit dry brush effect where it's just scumbling across the top surface. Because this is so far back in the distance, I don't want it to be too much detail. I may even put a little bit of the blue sky like it's reflecting on the glass windows. Okay. And this color, I need to adjust the color a little bit of the stones. Oh, they have these stones that kind of arch outward, and then everything else goes horizontal. That worked great. This is a very tall, here, let me show you the picture. Very tall, narrow. So it's not as wide as it is tall. Oh, okay. I'm just reading that this stone is called Cotswold stone, which is very distinctive for this part of England to have this stone. Must be mined in that area, so they use a lot of it in their architectural designs. Oh, and I'm reading that when it is freshly quarried, the stone is a cream color. And then after it weathers and exposed to the air, the iron oxidization turns it to a warm, glowing honey or a golden color. Okay, helpful to know. My husband is helping me figure these things out as I'm painting because I'm not able to do both at the same time. Warm and honey. Okay. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Okay. What is inside this building? I'm going to do some white reflective lines. I'm going to get a skinny little brush with a stiff this way I can almost draw with it. And then down my paint with some water. I'm going to bring in some little highlights. So it looks like it's got some highlights in the glass. Might be as much as I do. And remember, I didn't want to bring a ton of detail into this because it is farther back and it's not the most important thing. So kind of balancing that of like too much, too little. Kind of talking myself through what I want to add and leave out. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna throw this paper towel away. It is gotten messy. Okay. Okay, at this point I'm kind of just, the last bit probably, just tweaking a few little highlights here and there and details. Being sure to look back at a distance. Oh yeah, I like those lines. I think I need a little bit more highlights on the stones right here. Okay. I'm thinking this is all getting finished. I'm gonna start working just a little bit into this little grassy spot. I do think I wanna hide a little sheep over here. Let's see. I want it to look like a rolling pasture, maybe even from Clarkson's farm. What have I learned from Clarkson's farm and from Kaleb? He knows a ton about farming, and I don't know anything. So everything he has said, I have learned. I didn't know any of it before. I didn't know. I mean, just this last week we watched how cows were born. I mean, I know how, but I never watched it. I've never watched a video. And if you've not seen season 5, it's pretty graphic of watching a cow being born. And he gets so excited. It's really cute how he's not much of I mean, he's just simple. He thinks farming is awesome. And I don't know, when you saw him like talking about his machines and cows being born, it was like a totally different excitement that came over his face. He was glowing with like glee. So it was cool to see that. I think it's crazy that he has 3 million followers on his Instagram. And he's like barely left the country, his little town even. And he's so well known all over the world. So it's just so cool that social media allows us to, and TV shows allow us to kind of have an idea of a glimpse into somebody's life, which would have never had the privilege of. If you've not watched the show, it's on Amazon. It's I'm sorry, Netflix. I'm sorry, no, it is an Amazon show specifically. You can't watch it anywhere else. Sorry, totally botched that. And season 5 was just released this last 2 weeks, probably, maybe. Like, what a crazy week in his life. He just had his 3rd baby, he had the season premiere, and gets married. Wow. And now, he will have a painting. I would love to get it to him. It'd be so cool. I'll have to let you guys know if I get lucky and get his contacts and somehow send it to him. Oh, guys, we're getting there. We're probably in the last 30 minutes of the painting, if not even less. I think I'm going to push this back a little bit more and make it a little bit darker here. I think I'm going to fluff out her dress too. It really means a lot. You guys are watching and you've watched this far. Thank you so much. It was very fun to have your company. If any of you guys do pick up the brush and start painting, please tag me in it. My Insta is Heather Wolfe, WOLFE art on Instagram. So tag me if you do it. Okay, I gotta do a dry break right here because I want to put that veil back on top. Sorry guys, I know that might be loud. Sorry if it is. Aw, my sister just messaged and said she got to tune in for a minute. They are on vacation, so that is really fun. I got to see it. Hello, guys. Okay. I am going to do a little bit in this. I need more white. That's what I need. Okay, you know the little sheep that Lisa got. I don't know the actual name of them. They call them the easy sheep. I think that's the kind I want to put in this painting. I think. They have the little black noses. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. I think they would just show up. Well, I think they show up really well here. And I think I'm going to make a little bit of a palette knife cloud. Yeah. I like how bright that is. And I'm going to soften up some of those edges, but I think I want like a big fluff in a cloud. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I feel like Bob Ross doing that, like, happy clouds. Oh, my family's tuned in. Aw. That's sweet. Okay. I think I might leave it like that. I was just asked, does farm land remind me of Kentucky? Yes, I actually think it does, because we have rolling hills with big pastures cleared out like this. This is definitely. I'm in Tennessee, so Kentucky is nearby to me. I definitely think this looks like farmland. Okay, I'm ready to put that little guy in there. Ooh. I think I'm gonna put. Let me see if I can find an image really fast online of this kind of. White sheep with black faces. I don't even know what kind it is. Let me see if I can just. I found it. Valles black nose sheep, native to the Swiss Alps. Yeah, that's got to be them. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. Oh my goodness. I want one that's kind of. So this is what I do. I'm going to try to find maybe a little cluster and a side profile, because if I have it frontal, then it's harder to see what it is. So I go on Google and I will pull some inspiration for an animal or an object that I didn't get a photograph of. Let me actually say, and I feel that maybe they'll be in a distance. And they're all facing the viewer. Oh, no. They're so cute. All right, we'll kind of go with this one. That will work for now. Now, this is going to be so itty bitty teeny tiny. Let's see. Let's see if I can find another photo. I'm just going to do another quick search. Yeah, I'm thinking it's just basically going to be like a tiny little dot, because, I mean, honest, if it was that big of a tree, just think of how small this little animal would be next to it. Yeah. I didn't realize it was going to be so tiny, but I think it has to be because my drawing is so little there. But you do need a little black little nose and an ear. And little legs, black little legs. I probably can't even see this detail because of the camera being so far away. Sorry about that. You'll see it when you see the final painting. I'll show it. Okay. Looks like they're on the trees. Okay. Let me put some gradient under them. You know what? I think I'm going to actually call it a painting. There might be a couple of things that we can change, but y'all, it's done. Are you ready for a close-up? I'm going to take the camera and show you a close-up. Let's see if I can undo the camera. Sorry for the wiggling. Sorry. Let's get this out of the way. There we go. There they are. Kaleb and his wife. Oh, bravo, new subscriber. Well, thank you, Samantha. That means a lot. I'm actually on the back side of the camera, so I can actually see your all's comments right now. Yay. All right, I'm going to set this back over here. Sorry about this for a second. It'll just be. Oh, love it. Thank you. Okay, got it. Okay, so by the way, I'm Heather. If you've not met me yet, I tuned in the very beginning, but that was 187 minutes ago. Thank you for watching me paint Kaleb and his wife. They just got married on Friday, on July 4th, and there's not many photos that are out there, so I found this and I thought it was cute. It reminded me of the American Grant paint, or the American Gothic painting by Grant Wood, and I was like, I have got to do this painting, but with them in it. And so I tweaked a few things about it. I put in their venue, got some sheep in there. I may do a little logo on his pitchfork. That's the brand that he has, but I need to decide which logo I'm going to do because he's had a couple of different changes in his logo. But anyway, thank you so much. I would love for you to subscribe. And I also have the other social medias with Instagram and TikTok. So go check it out, Heather Wolf Art. And I do this from photograph all the time, and I also do live. So if you're interested in having me come and paint, heatherwolfart.com, and we can stay in touch. All right. See you guys. Okay. See you guys.